to another video. This is the Football Connect. Football Connect. I'm your host, and we are back again with another one. So Arsenal just drew with Everton at Goodson Park. It finished Arsenal 1. No, Everton 1, Arsenal 1. The problem with this game is not actually about Arsenal, because let us face it, we keep making jokes about this, but we already know that the title is decided. We know who's going to win the league. We know this has been known. The question was, how is the league gonna be won? Who actually is gonna help Liverpool to win the league? When would they actually be crowned as champions of England? So before today's game of Arsenal, the mission was, will this happen at the game against Chelsea, so that they should be a crowning in the Liverpool versus Arsenal? They will have to give the God of honor and stuff like that. Or maybe if Arsenal draw points and the Liverpool are able to keep up and keep going, because now those 5 games that people were talking about, now they are now 3 games. Or should I say there are 4 games? There are 4 games. And in those 4 games, the game against Chelsea, it means that Liverpool will be champions of England. Something that we knew has been the worst kept secret. We're just waiting for the time, and the time seems now. So the problem with today's result is actually going to impact Chelsea more than it impacts us now. Arsenal, they were just trying to keep up. I think they're just trying to be in the top 4, maybe claim that number 2 spot that we think that they're going to get at the end of the day. Because when you look at everything that is happening in the league, how the league has played out, like, it's all clear who's winning the league. But the problem that we can talk about when we're looking at today's game, especially on today's game, is how Arsenal started the game, how they were controlling the game, how the defense were really performing. Remember, they're missing Gabriel. How did they manage to play without a Gabriel? How were they dealing with everything that is happening? Those might be the questions that we may ask at the end of the day. But if you look at today's game, I don't think Kivior did anything wrong in the game. In fact, I might actually say he did better than Van Dijk and Konate in terms of how they were challenged by Beto and how he responded. But the difference between him and the Van Dijks is that they didn't know. Beto did not manage to. They never considered a goal. They did Arsenal against Everton. So it's a situation of, you cannot really understand exactly what the problem is, but you can see clearly that these teams are not performing at all at the level you want to see them doing. The other thing that I noticed on today's game, especially on today's game, was the strike force of Arsenal is not really back at the position where you want them to do, especially if they are going to be able to cause problem against Real Madrid. Because we know what the likes of Real Madrid can be. We know how their defense can be able to do something, even though they're not the best in the world, but we know what their strike force is going to do. So at least when you're going to be dealing with the Real Madrid, you need a competent strike force, a competent strike force of Arsenal to keep up with whatever the problem Real Madrid will create on the other side. Because already without no Gabriel, it's another problem which has been built, which is going to affect the game as the game goes. Now, when you look at everything that happened in today's game, the penalty which was given to Everton, so many people say that that is not a penalty. In fact, some people are actually giving examples of a penalty that happened that did not happen a few, should I say, days, few years back of United, or maybe was it this season? I'm not really sure. I need to check. That's where the robbery is coming from. That the pre-GMO, again, they're involved. They're making themselves the main character of each and every game, and they've done it today. Again, in the aid of Everton giving them a penalty. I have to say, Lewis Kelly was dumb enough to fall to the foot of the striker. That's one thing that you have to do, and you have to understand. He's still a kid. He's growing in his role as a player. He's still growing to become, and he's going to be one of the best players when you look at him, Lewis Kelly. But in terms of everything that is happening with him, that article which was put in, and people are making him look like he is Hitler himself. Anyway, it's a joke. Hitler himself in terms of football, how he has that I don't care attitude, how every time when he drops people, they are literally gonna see him like Ramos, who has just committed a foul or has seen something like that. It is add to, and it's gonna be added into the decisions that the referees are gonna give into the young men. Because let us all be honest, the moment when the player fell, Lewis Kelly's impact on whatever he done, it had already passed. So one person can come in and say that should not have been a penalty. And I'm speaking, I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm telling, oh, maybe you might say I don't like Everton, but the truth of the matter is this: looking at what we saw today, I don't think that is really clear in terms of giving that as a penalty. Okay, it's given. So my problem is this: I know PGMO got this wrong, but my problem is this: you would expect an Arsenal that is going to play Real Madrid on Tuesday to respond. You would expect them to put more in terms of attack, trying to show that they have something to offer, trying to show that they can come back and they can perform. Hence why I was talking about the strike force, that if they're going to be playing a Real Madrid, they need a competent strike force which will offer something that in return to whatever Real Madrid is going to put them under. And I think in today's game, we did not see that from Arsenal. And if there's anything that you gotta be worried about going in Tuesday's game, is where the team is. We wanted to see what Saka was going to do in the pitch. Hence, he was given 45 minutes to play today. We did not see enough of him. It feels like he's still coming back from. Yes, it was rosy and exciting scoring against Fulham, but we want to see a continuation of that in building up his confidence to help in the game that is going to play against Real Madrid. The real reason why he had to be here to start playing in these games, just a few of it, so that he's ready to start the game against Real Madrid. Trossard on the other side, it looks like Trossard is picking up confidence, something that Arsenal need in the game that they're going to be playing against. That goal that is scored, by the way, an assist from Ryan Sterling. I know that people come and talk about that he does nothing, Sterling doesn't offer anything. He offered an assist, and the assist was a goal. That's something. And it's really important to see how that all these things will help out the team going further to the end, help out the team so that they can win the trophy. They can compete in the Champions League. Because let us be honest, the Premier League, I might be here reacting on the Premier League game, but the Premier League game is over for Arsenal. They know this season is over. It's Liverpool's title to lose, and at this moment, it doesn't look like Liverpool wants to lose it. Oh, in fact, it looks like Arsenal wants to give Liverpool the title rather than Liverpool losing the title themselves, because there's no pressure on them. They're playing one game each and every week. Arsenal, you have to show that you are still competent, you're still performing at that level. But it's not easy as well, because your strike force is Moreno. Moreno, we can all say whatever we say, he does not offer the same thing that we need to see from a striker. Some people might say, okay, maybe Kai Havertz was that, but that's the same thing. That's the reason why Arsenal are here. They don't have a striker. So it means this actually is a mission for them to start working on the summer plan, which brings out to Gyökeres, which we have been told that Arsenal are interested in getting. That's when you need that such a player. That's when you need a player who can come in and actually offer something to help or to aid the team to be ready for what comes next season. But as of this season, the only thing that Arsenal needs to focus on is Real Madrid on Tuesday. Because if they beat Real Madrid on Tuesday, they might go for the title that they've never won. And that is something that they can put all their focus on. But in today's game, one thing you can all be proud of is that Kivio actually performed well. For what we were expecting, he performed well. He didn't do any problem. But also, one person can come in and say that he was not really challenged enough. He was not really tested enough. He never did get the players who were putting pressure on him. And that is the honest truth. Everton's strike force cannot be compared to AIE and Real Madrid's attack. It's night and day. But they managed to play the game. Of course, they draw the game. That's not what they wanted to do. They managed to play the game, and that's what matters. And so many, really, when you really think about it, when I noticed that something would not go well for this Arsenal team at Everton, was when I actually saw some Arsenal fan predicting a draw against Everton before the game is played. Some really big Arsenal fans who believe in that team. Oh, predicting a draw, for me, it was questioning. It was a question mark, because it felt like, okay, Are you literally handing over the title that you can win? I saw that and I was like, okay, maybe we are giving so much respect into this team. They may not be what we expect them to be this season, but they can work on to become that team. They can work on to become a better team going forward. And that's what they need this season. And we saw what we saw today. And we can wait to see how the season goes on. But I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Watching this game from home, what can you say? Were you impressed enough by what Martin Odegaard was doing in the game? Declan Rice did try to do those crosses, trying to deliver, but it was not good enough. Saliba did had some problems, but he was able to defend well. Kevio, he kept himself. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, he was awarded the man of the match of this game. That tells you everything about how he was in a game which people thought that he might choke, he might not be the same, he might not perform the way they want to see him do. He did so well. So the question is this: what are your thoughts? And what are you expecting to see? Looking at in terms of what Soccer 4 offered in terms of the game, looking at everything that happened, Everton, in terms of the ratings, you can see Kivio's rating and Saliba were high. Ben White came out, and of course Timber came in. Skelly did not have a good game, and of course it might be been caused because of the things that we just said. Tarkowski had some problems, Brett White, but they stayed in the game. Pickford, he had some amazing saves, by the way. I'm surprised that his rating is this low, especially with some of the saves he pulled out. Trossard, he scored the goal. Sterling with an assist, yet his rating is too low. When he was in the game, but did not really offer enough for Arsenal. The Winieri we have come to know, the one who's so loved by the Arsenal fans. So there are so many questions we can talk about how this game went on. Like, there are so many questions we can ask about what else can the team do in terms of developing or actually becoming better than what we're seeing. But at the moment, let's see where they go next. Let's see how they improve, because they need to improve. But here from the Football Connect, this is my reaction to Arsenal versus Everton 1, Arsenal 1. What are your thoughts, and what does this mean for Chelsea? Because I would love to see Moises Caicedo giving the team he said no to a guard of honor. That's my dream. Like the vid, subscribe. I had to throw that other one at the end because I'm a Liverpool fan. Anyway, see you on another reaction. We're out. Peace. Subscribe to the Connect.
Beats the goalkeeper. You're just lost for words. He is just brilliant. Georgie Best, Diego Maradona, Johan Cruyff.